Hello everyone and welcome to Dark Souls 3. In this video we're going to take a quick look at the starting classes, their weapons, and their stats. So let's get started with the Knight. The Knight in this game is level 9, it has 12 Vigor, 10 Attunement, 11 Endurance, 15 Vitality, 13 Strength, 12 Dexterity, 9 Intelligence, 9 Faith, and 7 Luck. So with all of that it will be using a longsword, not really a shock, it's a knightly sort of weapon. And you've got your standard longsword moveset. It's really nothing terribly special. It's L2 in the second, one two-handed, I almost said in the second form. Not Bloodborne here, no second forms just yet. Although there might be later on. When two-handed and you're using your L2, you gain this special stance that allows you to do different attacks. Always great to add some variety into things. Will be extremely useful in PvP, I'm sure. So, next on the list, guys, we are looking at the Mercenary, who is wielding Legion Scimitars. The Mercenary is level 8, has 11 Vigor, 12 Attunement, 11 Endurance, 10 Vitality and Strength, 16 Dexterity, 10 Intelligence, 8 Faith, and 9 Luck. Now the Legion Scimitars are a really cool dual-wielding weapon. When you go into your second form with this one, I suppose, you would call it, because it's not really two-handing, it's just dual-wielding, you get a second scimitar. It's really fun to use. A lot of people are going to enjoy this one, guys. Following that, we are looking at the Warrior. It's basically a bandit. It's level 7, has 14 Vigor, 6 Attunement, 12 Endurance, 11 Vitality, 16 Strength, 9 Dexterity, 8 in Intelligence and Faith, as well as 11 Luck. Using a bandit axe, this is a really fun build to start off with. I might be starting with this class myself. I like the way that this axe functions. I love when you are using it in the two-handed form. You have that buff. It's a self buff that it applies for your L2, and it changes your R2 attack, which you're about to see. I like that. I like that it's not just a buff. I like there's an actual moveset change involved with it, and it's one of a few weapons that actually does that so far, and that's just with starting weapons. We don't even know what's next, and that is very exciting. It'll make PvP very varied and a good time in general, so I can't complain about that at all. After this one, guys, we have the Herald. That's what it's called. Drew a blank there for a second. So the Herald starts off with a spear. Pretty fun weapon, you know, it's just a spear though, nothing terribly special. It's a level 9 character. It has 12 Vigor, 10 Attunement, 9 Endurance, 12 Vitality, 12 Strength, 11 Dexterity, 8 Intelligence, 13 Faith, and 11 Luck. Faith is important because it does actually have a healing miracle that you can start with. Definitely an invaluable thing to have at the beginning of the game. Next on the list we've got the Thief. Nothing really should surprise you guys here. It starts with a bandit knife. It has, of course, decently high dexterity. It's a level 5 build though. Has 10 Vigor, 11 Attunement, 10 Endurance, 9 Vitality, 9 Strength, 13 Dexterity, 10 Intelligence, 8 Faith, and 14 Luck. Pretty high in the luck, pretty high in the item discovery rate. Definitely a good thing though. Now with the bandit knife this time around, you know, it's pretty typical. I do have to say it's L2 attack in its second form in the two-handed state. It's not really an attack, it's not so much an attack as it is a dash, and that dash will be it'll be very useful in PvP. I can tell you that much right off the bat, because you will be able to dodge right around your enemies with that thing. It will throw people off, and the speed that you move is insane. You can turn around while you're doing it, you can change the angle, you can go sideways with it. It's not just a regular forward and back thing, and the most important thing is you can stay facing the direction you initially are when you're starting the attack, so to speak. So it's pretty useful, but more on that later. Next we have the Assassin. This was one that's pretty much made for spell sword. It's a spell sword through and through, and it will be pretty interesting to see what people make of this. It's a level 10, has 10 Vigor, 14 Attunement, 11 Endurance, 10 Vitality, 10 Strength, 14 Dexterity, highest Dexterity guys, 11 Intelligence, 9 Faith, and 10 Luck. Starts off with the S-Stock. I gotta say, you know, I'm liking what they did with the S-Stock. It seems like its R2s are a little bit more telegraphed, I suppose you could say. But otherwise, I can't really complain too terribly much. This character also starts off with the Spook spell, which makes it so that your sounds, your fall damage, they're not there. They're not a thing. So don't even worry about them. Just use it, sneak up on enemies, sneak up on other players, and have fun with this one. After that, we have our Sorcerer. No shock here, guys. It's going to have some magic to it. The thing that surprised me about this one was the Mail Breaker, actually, but more on that in a second. The Sorcerer build itself, Sorcerer starting class itself, is a level 6, has 9 Vigor, 16 Attunement, 9 Endurance, 7 Vitality, 7 Strength as well, 12 Dexterity, 16 Intelligence, 7 Faith, and 12 Luck. Now, the Mail Breaker in this one, like I said, is pretty surprising. It reminds me more of a dagger than anything else, and that's not a bad thing. It's a lot faster. I feel like it'll be quite a bit more useful as well because of that. And also you start off with Soul Arrow and Heavy Soul Arrow. Nothing to complain about there. Next up, of course, the Pyromancer. There's always got to be a Pyromancer. Starting off with a Hand Axe, never a bad thing as well. And, of course, the Pyromancer Flame and Fireball to go with it. Hard to go wrong. Now this one right here has a level of 8. It's got 11 Vigor, 12 Attunement, 10 Endurance, 9 Vitality, 12 Strength, 9 Dexterity, 14 Intelligence, and 14 Faith, as well as 7 Luck. So having the high Intelligence and high Faith, that's a kind of a big deal. So that leads me to believe that Pyromancy, like in Dark Souls 2, scales off of both Intelligence and Faith. And when we get hexes, because there will be hexes in this game, that will most likely be the same. So this is a good starting class for pretty much any casting build. And of course, where would we be without our Cleric? What are you, a Cleric or something? Patch's favorite. So, this build right here, this class right here, level 7, 10 Vigor, 14 Attunement, 9 Endurance, 7 Vitality, 12 Strength, 8 Dexterity, 7 Intelligence, 16 Faith, and 13 Luck. Starts off with a Mace, Heal, and Force. Force does not cast as fast in this game, so you can't quite spam it as much as all previous games, but I feel like it's got a wider area of effect, so it still will be quite useful. Also, in the two-handed mode with the Mace, it's got its self-buff called Perseverance. I believe it will reduce the damage you take, but I have not been able to extensively test it, so we'll find out eventually. And I've got to say, though, guys, my favorite of these classes, it's Deprived, actually. 10 all the way across the board for every single stat, and I'm happy that they changed the club. It's actually got a unique moveset, aside from what the Mace has. It's never had that before. I like this. And remember what I was saying about the Battle Axe and the Hand Axe included with that for having something special when you use the two-handed buff? The buff with this weapon, guys, the way it changes your R2. Oh my god, it's something else. It's something else. I don't even know what to say about that other than it's amazing, and I can't wait to play around with that, because that spam of attacking right there, oh my god, that will be fun. But anyway, guys, that's it. Those are all the starting classes. So let me know what you plan on starting with. Feel free to talk about the game in the comments, and I will see you guys all in the next video.